Hey guys, it's South African Chris here from New Zealand. How are you? Hope you've had a good week so far. And if you're in the US, then I hope you're okay. Sad to see the news, everything happening. I prefer not to pick sides from the sideline. Here in New Zealand, everything is going well, and that's good. Nice weather, and yeah, been a couple of good trading days. So let's have a quick look at what happened yesterday before we get to today's top stocks. So I closed off all of the the trades that I had running. All of them hit either the stop loss or the target price, and we can see here that there's a profit. Wins and losses more or less equal at this stage, but because we set that winning rate as double as the losing ratio or value, that means that even if we do 50-50 wins and losses, we still make a profit, right? Which is exactly what we want. So now let's have a look at this. So yesterday we had Peloton Interactive and Okta still running. Those two closed off today, so you can see here it's today's date where they closed off, and here we made a profit, so 200 a loss, sorry, both of those stop losses were hit. Then on edit, so this one hit the target price of 239, so made some money there. Same one with HubSpot went long on went short on Editas, made a profit there. Went long on HubSpot. No, let me start this all over again. Went long on Editas, made a profit. Went short on HubSpot and made a profit. We went short on Palo Alto, made a profit. We went short on Roku Incorporated, made a profit. We went long on Zillow Group, lost there, and then I went long on Neo, simply because I was taking a bit of a gamble, but made a loss, hit the stop loss there. I should have set it a bit lower, really, to be honest, but that's where we're at. So I've run through the stock finder, and you can see here today's stocks that pop up on the finder. This is what it looks like. So there's a whole bunch of them. I ran through all of them, and I started looking at the technical indicators for each and every one of those, and the ones that piqued my interest then ended up in my watch list. The next step is to interrogate them and then to run through the AI prediction system, or the machine learning function within my software. By the way, this is MI Pro for those of you who don't know. This is what I use to do my strategy planning. So this is not a brokering software or brokerage software. This is just to do my planning and strategizing. And once I've set everything up here, I will then go and do those trades using my brokerage platform. At this stage, I'm using Tiger Trade because it makes it easy for me to trade here from New Zealand. Costs are low, the fees are low, and it's quite fast. So if we look at the technical indicators for some of these, the things I look at is, were there any recent patterns? And we can see on the 6th, being yesterday, there's a bearish pattern. By the way, we're in New Zealand, so it's already the 7th year, 6:30 in the PM. So ahead of that EST time, which gives me some time during the day to do my research and planning. And by the time the stock market opens, I've got my list of trades ready with target prices and stop losses all pre-programmed, which means I can go and sleep and wake up and see whether I've made some money or lost some. Right, so we can see here on this one that there was a double top pattern detected yesterday. It indicates that it is bearish, and we can see on the ADX is not doing great, so it's not really a trending stock, this one. But I'm going to run the AI or the machine learning predictor on this one, and I'm going to see what it says, because it's been right more often than not. I take these predictions with a pinch of salt. It's not an exact science, of course, it's prediction. So you know, it needs to be interpreted and based off of other indicators as well. But I've come to learn that the times when I didn't trust my machine learning algorithms and I decided to go the opposite direction, I lost, and it was actually right. I really thought after the trades on the day before yesterday, on Tuesday, everything went quite bullish, lots of gains and upward trends on the technology stocks, so I assume the same will happen yesterday. And although it told me on Neo to go down, I decided to go up on that one, and it turns out that my prediction model was correct and I was in fact wrong. So that means I've got a bit more faith in it and I should rely on it a little bit more. So we're doing that with RH here. I've ran the prediction and we can see that it gives me a low and a high end of where it thinks the stock is going, and it's definitely going down. So 455.65 on the high end. In other words, when we go short or bearish, that's the one we want to look at. So I'm going to click on this one to trade it. So I'm going to record a trade here, and this will calculate some things for me, and we will now start to just set up our parameters. So this tool will automatically calculate the target price and the stop loss for me, and it will also compare that to the current ATR of the stock, so that I make sure that I'm within a ballpark and at least within reason. So we can see here, if I buy 25 of these stocks at $470 and we go short on them at $447.29, we stand to make $567.75, and we stand to lose, based on the stop loss here, $283.75. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reduce this a little bit, and I'm going to increase the number of stocks that we buy here. So let's go in at 30 instead. That position sizing is automatically calculated based on my total available capital, and it will automatically determine those for me based on what I've set up in my settings, which is currently about 10%. Right, so we've got a trade value there, and we can see here we've got an ATR that is closer to my range, that's closer to the actual ATR. I'm going to increase this a little bit, so let's set this up to $455 flat. And we can see that is a decrease of 3.19%. I think that's fairly reasonable. And let's set that stop loss closer to what we've got here. So let's say if we hit up to 475, I want that to close out, and we can see that that is an increase of 1.06%. So that's what I'm going to set my parameters for this trade, and we'll record that one. So once I hit record, it's going to add it as a new trade into my portfolio, and this is then the information I'll use to keep on tracking and to plan, set up my stocks for my actual trades. Over here on the watch list, I can see it's blue because it's now been added to my portfolio, which means it's a stock that is currently in play. Right, I'm going to do the same for the rest of these stocks, and once I'm done with them, I'm going to circle back to you, and I'm going to share with you the ones that I decided to go for and show you what I've determined to be my target prices and my stop losses. So I'll be back in a second, and then we'll talk about those. Okie dokie, there we go. So I've run through these for today, and this is what I've come up with. So first we've got Penn National Gaming. So this is consumer services industry, and by the way, I always recommend looking at the sectors from Finviz, seeing how they are performing. So we've got basic materials here on the one-day relative performance at the top, then financial, then energy, then industrials, then utilities, blah, blah, blah. Technology right at the bottom for the 1 day. For the 1 week, we've also got technology at the bottom, basic materials, then energy, then financial. So we can kind of start to see there's a bit of a trend change here from technology to some other leading sectors. And then the 1 month, we've got these industries here. Technology not doing too bad over the 1 month relative performance, but again, basic materials, financial, consumer, energy, healthcare, utilities. So bearing that in mind, I'm trying to not buy everything in the same industry, and I'm trying to spread it out a bit and not limit it to technology. So what I'm doing now is I'm just getting the current price instead of the last close price, because that'll give us a more accurate reading on our current trades. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks here that I'm going to trade. The ones highlighted in green are my favorites. The other ones barely made the cut, so to speak. So we've got Penn here, went long on this one, 130 of them for me, at a target price of $94 and a stop loss at $87.27. Netflix going short on this one. This is the prediction or the suggestion from the machine learning method, and we're doing that at market price currently, setting our target price at $488 and the stop loss at $508.24. For First Solar, we're going long on this one, $108 target profit, stop loss at $100.19. Blink Charging Company, so consumer durables here, going long on this one, and we've got a target price of $44.74 and a stop loss at $38.99. On Beam, again, technology here, we are going long, $68 for the target price, $60.97 for stop loss. Finally, NEO, I made some money before here on the 4th. I made more than $1,000 in a single day on NEO, which was great. But then yesterday I lost on NEO $167. So we're still in the good, but I'm going to try and make that back. So I ran my prediction again. It's still telling me that NEO prices are going to hit in the range of $80 a share in the not so distant future. So I'm not hitting it all the way up there. I'm hoping that we can get from about $50 odd to 60, which is my target price, and my stop loss at 48. And let's see if we can make some of those lost money there back. So that's what I've currently got. These are my trades, and I hope that helps you. Remember, don't base your trades just simply off of mine. I look at various technical indicators and I do technical analysis in depth of them, so I'm pretty much just sharing my homework with you, but this is using my particular strategy and the way that I approach trades. I do look at fundamental data from time to time, but I don't rely or base my trades off of them entirely. In fact, I would only use fundamental trading in swing vote. So we can see here news on NEO and Tesla and other EV stocks and the industry and the sector, and we can see some additional indicators and online sentiment. But again, you need to do your own research and make sure that you know what you're doing, because you can very easily lose money in the stock market as well. Okay, so I also recommend looking at videos from the Zip Trader, description at the bottom, and just FYI, the strategy that I use is a modified strategy, as instructed or developed by Adam Koo. Also links in the description there. So if you find this useful, please like, please subscribe, please share, leave a comment. If you want to use the MI Pro software and see how that could work for you potentially by developing your strategies and also to build up a portfolio of trades. It keeps a record of every month, and you can very easily go into any of these. So let's, for instance, here select NEO and view historical trades that we've done based on that. It's very handy for this kind of thing. So why is it doing that? It's very handy for this kind of thing, so we can go back into previous trades and we can see what worked, what didn't work, what profits were made. Here we can see I've made a 10% here on the previous one, and I can view the opening trade conditions, and I can also view the closing trade conditions and see what the conditions were there for a successful trade or for an unsuccessful trade. So if we want to look at one that did not make money, then we can actually go back and look at that as well and see what those conditions were like. Anyway, that's it from me. Have a great day. All the best. Stay safe. Don't be crazy, and see you next time. Cheers.
I like it.